that if we don't find a bottom around here, the highest probability bottom that I see on Google is a touch base around 300 area and then a reversal right into the rejection zone. Maybe we go even higher, sweep these levels and then reject lower and then come back up again and then eventually take this out and then go right back up. So there you have it, guys. This is exactly where I want to start today's video. I'm not changing anything from the chart. We predicted that we will probably bounce around the area we were at or a little bit lower, come back up and sweep the previous highs. And I want to start from here because it only took us 2 weeks. I thought it would take us a little bit longer, but only within 2-week time frame we have swept the highs and we have printed a very bearish weekly candle here. Even with extremely good earnings report, we can clearly see a trend that anytime we get above $350 and between 375, we keep getting rejected here. There is too much supply, and these candles and this liquidity sweep is only confirming that zone. Now, for us to break higher, the best path forward would be a tap into this support line. And I also think once we bounce here, we still have to go back and test the 350 level again. Now, I'm not Houdini or a market god where I would know exactly how the entire year plays out, but as I mentioned in my earlier videos, we can look at technicals and for the least we can understand where is the next path forward. And in this case scenario, we pretty much predicted that move towards the liquidity sweep above 380. And just because you can predict things like that doesn't mean they are trades. So I didn't trade this, I didn't touch it, but I'm just watching it because down the road, Google can give you a pretty nice, pretty decent entry to take a very big size position. And for now, I think we will come down. As I mentioned, we will probably bounce on this support area again, and that is what I'm watching. Now, if I fast forward this onwards after this bounce, I think we will try to go back into this supply zone. Let me actually remove all of these previous drawings. So I'm thinking something like this, where we come back down here, tap back into the supply, and then come back down again into this particular zone. And I'll remove this line for now because there's also a chance that we have enough momentum to continue this higher, then bounce into the supply zone and turn that into a bullish zone and then run back up. But for now, I am more leaning towards the downside because once this supply gets tested, it will be a great idea, a great technical setup if we can come back down anytime within next quarter or two and sweep this liquidity zone of this previous swing lows. And in my previous video, I did create this line that goes underneath it, but I did not explain why I created this line, and that was because of this liquidity zone. Notice that when we did that in 2024 and then 2025, we swept the previous low and then we had the momentum to continue higher. The same thing would work out really well for Google if we can come back and sweep this 270 level and then continue higher. And guys, these things take a long time to play out, so this requires a lot of patience. And the reason I cover mega cap stocks, which don't give you too much returns in the short term, is because when you have too much money sitting on the sidelines, let's say you have been building a $10,000-$20,000 account and now it's up to $70,000-$80,000, it would be a great idea to allocate a bigger chunk of that into mega caps, where even if market comes down 10-20%, you're not putting your stop losses, and in that case scenario, you are pretty sure that these companies will eventually reverse back up. And even with that, you can't just jump in to these stocks at all-time highs. You have to wait for places where the probabilities are on your side and the upside is a lot more than the downside. So a pullback from the highs looks like about 35%, 33%, even though it looks like we are far from it. But realistically, on a mega cap stock, we have seen 35, 40, 50% pullbacks in middle of bear markets all the time, especially on Amazon, Google, Microsoft. So we will keep on tracking this, but I will also say that this could happen very, very quickly, because if we do get the midterm volatility that I am expecting from SPY, that we have done previously in the last 2 quarters, as you can see, the midterm year of 2018, we had this drop in September, October time. Then we had a similar drop in the 2022 bear market, which was also a midterm year. And right now, SPY is in the midterm year again, and we are headed into the Q3, Q4 volatility. So if SPY does come back and retrace the early year um, weakness, we will most likely see stocks like Google and everything else that you're watching come back down with it. So that might give us the opportunity we need. Maybe we don't bounce on this trend line. Maybe we just go straight through it. And if we get below 270, I am pretty interested in taking some position into Google, because out of all the mega caps, as I'm analyzing what they're doing with their AI capex, what they're doing for their future growth, fundamentals, and whatnot, Google is coming out to be the strongest stock out of all of them. And I think that is why Warren Buffett has also taken a position into the stock. So the smartest thing you can do is enter a stock that Warren Buffett is invested in, but do it better than Berkshire Hathaway. So you enter below the price they entered at. So with that being said, the highest probability I see on Google is that we retrace into 300s, low 300s, and maybe even 270 and sweep that level. So we'll keep a close eye on it. I'll post about it. And with that, I hope this was a valuable video for you. Please leave a like, comment, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.